We talk about people who have their life together as if it's a finish line. The steady job, the morning routine, the savings account, the clear plan. It's easy to look at someone else and think, they've figured it out. Why haven't I? There are several reasons behind this mindset. First, we often compare our messy behind-the-scenes lives to other people's highlight reels. Second, we feel like imposters, convinced we're only pretending to be competent, despite evidence to the contrary. Third, since most people keep their doubts private, we assume we're the only ones struggling. This leads us to believe everyone else has life figured out, while we're quietly falling short. But here's the truth. Nobody really feels that way all the time. Not even the people who look the most put together on the outside. Most of us are just doing our best, hiding the same doubts, the same unfinished lists. So maybe having it all together isn't a real state at all. Maybe it's a myth we've all somehow quietly agreed to believe. Think about how this myth shows up. On social media, it looks like curated morning routines and productivity hacks. In real life, it's the friend whose apartment always looks neat, or the colleague who seems on top of deadlines. But what we don't see are the trade-offs. The friend with the tidy home might be drowning in work stress. The colleague with perfect time management might feel disconnected in their relationships. The philosopher Michel de Montaigne once wrote that we are all patchwork, each of us stitched together from strengths and gaps, order and mess. But we rarely get to see the full picture of someone else. We only see the highlight. When we compare our behind the scenes to someone else's surface, it's not a fair fight. And yet, we do it every day. Believing in the myth comes with a cost. It convinces us that life should feel linear, clear goals, steady progress, constant control. So when we hit doubt, or chaos, or uncertainty, we assume we're the problem. That's when the overcompensating begins. We buy planners, apps, self-help books. We pack our schedules so tight that there's no room for error. We perform stability, even if we don't feel it. But psychologists looking at perfectionism note that this cycle often leaves us more anxious, not less. The constant effort to appear together eats away at the very sense of ease we're trying to create. It's a treadmill, with no off switch. So if having it all together is a myth, what's the alternative? Philosopher Heraclitus once wrote, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man." Life is always shifting. Stability isn't something you arrive at. It's something you experience briefly, then lose, then find again. Psychologists often refer to the good enough functioning, the idea that life doesn't need to be flawless to be fulfilling. It's not about erasing uncertainty. It's about learning to live with it without treating it as failure. Instead of aiming for the illusion of togetherness, you can start asking better questions. What actually matters to me right now? What's one thing I can let be unfinished? Where do I already feel a small sense of steadiness, even if it's not perfect? These aren't glamorous questions, but they pull you out of the cycle of comparison and back into your own life. The point isn't to have it all together. The point is to move through the mess with some measure of honesty. To accept that being unfinished isn't proof of failure, it's proof of being alive, proof of being human. The myth will always be there, whispering that everyone else is ahead. But the reality is simpler. Nobody has it all together, not all the time. So here's the real question. What if you stopped chasing togetherness and started noticing the pieces of your life that are already enough?